Hey, what's up guys, it's Red here with another Fire Emblem Mythology video. Today's FE Mythology video is about the two legendary weapons of Aleve, the Durandal and Armads. Actually, I've done 3 weapons of Aleve, as the Exox from my previous FE Mythology video is also one. So check that one out too. Before I start, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you have any feedback, leave it in the comments below. So yeah, let's get started with the Durandal's mythology in real life. The Durandal comes from French folklore. The Durandal and 2 other swords were said to be given to a young Charlemagne by angels, who Charlemagne later gave the Durandal to the legendary paladin Roland. In La Chanson de Roland, or the Song of Roland, Charlemagne gave the Durandal to Roland. Like I said before, the blade was said to cut through boulders with a single slice and be indestructible. It is said to contain a tooth of Saint Peter, the blood of Basile de Caesarea / Saint Basil the Great, hair of Saint Denis, and a piece of Mary, Mother of Jesus Christ, clothing in the golden hilt of the blade. Roland, alongside his companions to fight for Charlemagne, used it during the campaign against the Saracen army. However, one day the Saracens attacked, and knowing it was his final battle, Roland tried to destroy the Durandal, but it proved ineffective. So, when he was mortally wounded, he hid the blade beneath his body before succumbing to his injuries. Or, in another legend, Roland threw the Durandal to a cliff face, and it is said to still be there. Also, some etymology for the Durandal's name. However, the meaning isn't 100% agreed on by historians and experts. There are some explanations, like from Rita Lejeune, who broke down the name to be Durant plus Dal, which means strong sight. And another, Gerard Rolfs, said it's Dur plus Endart, which means strong flame, which seems like FE took this meaning, especially because in Japanese the sword is called the Sword of Raging Fire. Now, onto the Durandal's depiction in Fire Emblem. Fire Emblem's depiction of the Durandal is pretty faithful to the legend, and while not being exact, it's pretty cool how the mythos in FE connects to some of the stuff with the legend. Especially with the first wielder of the Durandal in FE being the legendary paladin named Roland, who used it in the fight against the dragon Idun. Eventually, Roland sealed the blade in his tomb, where the next and technically final canonical user, Eliwood, one of the protagonists of Fire Emblem the Blazing Blade, or FE7, Eliwood was a descendant of Roland, and was able to unseal the Durandal to fight the Dark Druid Nurgle and his forces. It was placed back into the Tomb of Roland, in which it was unsealed again by Roy and the Lycian army during the events of Fire Emblem the Binding Blade, to fight against the forces of Byrne led by Zephiel and the reawakened dragon Idun. That is the last we've seen of the blade in canon. It has also appeared in Fate 2, and in multiple forms. Now, onto the Armads mythology in real life. The Armads in Fire Emblem comes from the legendary sword Almace, which was one of the other swords that Charlemagne gave to his men in the Song of Roland. Charlemagne gave it to the Archbishop of Reims, Turpin, who used it alongside Roland to fight the Saracen forces, and Turpin also fell in the same battle with Roland. Though little is known about the Almace, as in the Song of Roland was more focused on Roland and the Durandal. Even Almace's name doesn't really have an origin, and it's just speculated. So, now onto the depiction of Almace / Armads in Fire Emblem. Armads is very different from its origin, from its name being different to Almace being a sword, while Armads is an axe in Fire Emblem, and that Armads will eventually make its user die in battle, though it technically did happen in the legend with Almace, but whatever. Although the one thing that keeps it consistent with the legend is that the first wielder of Armads is named Durbin, who apparently is an alteration of the name Turpin. So, Durbin used Armads with Roland when they fought and sealed Idun. Armads was sealed by Durbin in a cave, and eventually Bramimond, one of the 8 legends like Durbin, during the events of FE7 unsealed the cave and let the next wielder of Armads, Hector, get the weapon after a grueling trial. When Hector was about to get the Armads, the spirit of Durbin warned Hector that if he uses Armads, he would not have a peaceful death and would die in battle. Hector took the weapon and used it alongside Eliwood against Nurgle and his forces. Hector took the Armads back to where it was from when they defeated Nurgle, and about 20 years later, Hector fell in battle against Byrne during the events of FE6. Roy and his army can go retrieve the legendary axe, but technically the last canonical user of Armads is Hector, like how the Durandal can be used in Binding Blade, but Eliwood was the last canonical user, though it has also appeared in Fate and Awakening as well. Though Awakening's Armads does look different. So, that was a Fire Emblem Mythology, Durandal and Armads. The next video will still be on FE7 with the Twin Blades, the Soul Caddy, and the Mani Caddy. So stay tuned, and also I'll be summoning on the Halloween banner Merchant's Harvest for Fae. So make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.